Hello and good morning. My name is Annie McCary, President of the African American Heritage Club. I'm joined by Willie Phillips, who is Vice President of the African American Heritage Club. So welcome to Black in Laguna Woods, a program that has been a major platform for sharing and celebrating the experiences of African Americans in Laguna Woods. This program was initially produced by the Democratic Club of Laguna Woods Village, and for several years, it has highlighted the stories, the challenges, contributions of African Americans, not just in the community, but throughout history. Today, we are excited to announce an important transition. Black in Laguna Woods will now be produced and hosted by the African American Heritage Club. This marks a new chapter for the program, one that allows us to bring even more focus and dedication to the voices, stories of African Americans here in Laguna Woods and throughout. Now, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the African American Heritage Club of Laguna Woods. The club was founded and established in 2014 by Dr. Fran Williams, who is a clinical psychologist and also was at that time a resident of Laguna Woods. And she moved here and she was really involved in the community, attending club events and club activities, and realized that there was nothing that represented her, no clubs that represented her and her heritage. So she founded the African American Heritage Club in 2014. And so since then, the club has flourished with highlighting and bringing major events to the Laguna Woods community. Some of the programs that we highlight and that we're most proud of is our annual Juneteenth celebration, which is now a federal holiday since 2000. We do our Kwanzaa events, which have been highlighted, some of the other African American heritage. So those are some of the highlights that the African American Heritage Club has brought to Laguna Woods Village. And as we move forward with Black in Laguna Woods, and Willie will have more input as we go along, we want to continue to build on the strong foundation that has already been laid. While we're still in the planning stages of Black in Laguna Woods, meaning we don't have a clear vision of moving forward what it would look like, but we intend to continue with the same quality, the same caliber of programs that was brought to you by the Democratic Club. We will continue to highlight personal stories, more personal stories, host engaging conversations, which we think will bring a lot more engagement to the community about African American heritage, about our color. And one thing about the African American Heritage Club, one of the things is we celebrate our heritage, not just our skin color. So if there's anyone out there watching that have some ideas about or desire to join the African American Heritage Club and you want to celebrate our heritage, please join us. Our heritage includes the way we dress, the foods we eat, our music. It includes a lot of stuff. And so we invite anyone who has an interest or who has a desire to be a part of our club, please come out and join us. One of my goals as president of the African American Heritage Club is to ensure that this program, Black in Laguna Woods, continues to be a source of inspiration, education, and pride for all of our residents. We invite everyone to join us on this journey as we celebrate our heritage, as we honor our history, and look forward to a brighter future together. And having said that, coming up, February, we've always acknowledged, well, not always, but recent years, February has been considered or is known as Black History Month. And it's an ideal time to celebrate the rich and various contributions of Black individuals in our society. And while Village Television historically airs movies and films to highlight some of the African American contributions. I have a list of some suggestions of films that you might be able to, that you might consider watching. These films are streamed on Netflix, Amazon Prime, Apple TV. And so these are just some additional opportunities for you to learn about the African American contribution. And the first one is one of my favorites, and I won't tell you a lot about it because I don't want to do a spoiler alert. But it is a Netflix documentary, and it's called The 6888. And it tells an inspiring story of the incredible and brave women of the first and only Women's Army Corps unit of color to be stationed overseas during World War II. And that is streaming live right now on Netflix. A couple of other ones that might tickle your fancy. This one is Stamped from the Beginning, and it features Angela Davis, Alexa Rochelle Jennings, and Rafa Mahino. And that one is streaming on Netflix as well. It's the film sheds light on the origin and the evolutions of racism in the United States. And so that might be one. Again, it's streaming on Netflix. Another one, Going to Mars. This one I haven't seen yet, but I've heard some great reviews about it. The Nikki Giovanni Project. If you don't know about Nikki Giovanni, she's a poet and has a very colorful history. So that one, she reflects on her life and journey and her legacy. So, and that was on HBO Max. Another one, this sounds very, very intriguing, Little Richard, I Am Everything. And it features Little Richard, John Waters, Mick Jagger, and Billy Porter. Louis Armstrong, Black and Blues, and this is directed by Sasha Jenkins, features Louis Armstrong, Nas, Wynton Marsalis, and Dwight Eisenhower. American Justice on Trial, People versus Newton. This one is directed by Herb Ferret and Andrew Abraham. So, and then the last one I wanted to highlight was The Barber of Little Rock, directed by John Hoffman, featuring Arlo Washington, Terrence Anderson, and Erica Baldwin. This documentary, An Old Man Fights for a Just Economy, explores how people trust a Little Rock community bank and how it's taken back its racial wealth gap in America. So these are just a few of the films that you might be interested in for February Black History Month. And then the last thing I wanted to highlight about February is the Orange County Black History Parade. It is scheduled for February 2nd in Santa Ana, and there's more information on that in the Orange County Register. So those are some of the highlights of Black History Month, some of the highlights of what Black in Laguna Woods might look like moving forward. And now I would invite Willie Phillips to tell us about some upcoming events and how you might be interested in participating in helping us to celebrate.
Okay, I'm Willie Phillips. As Annie has previously stated, I'm the Vice President of the African American Heritage Club. And moving forward, we are going to have guests come on board, and we're going to be interviewing much like we did when Sue Daring and the Democratic Club was in charge and Alan Feldman was doing the interviewing. We still have, we will probably alternate and have different interviewers, but the program will be very similar to what you've been used to seeing. However, we're debating on whether or not we're going to keep the name of the program the same. More to come on that later. As far as the upcoming events, currently, a week from now, we're going to be going to the Cerritos Performing Arts Center to see a Spirit of Harriet Tubman, a one-woman play, and we have 2 buses from TCS that are going to be transporting us there. on January the 28th. This will already be over by the time this is aired. But I'm sure we're going to have a great time. There will be 104 participants. On April the 19th, the African American Heritage Club will be presenting two bands at PAC. This is going to be on the 19th of April at 7 p.m. One of the bands is BIG, Brothers Igniting a Groove. They're a band that plays locally. They play a lot at Spaghettini's and other local venues here in the beach cities. The other band that's going to be coming on right after them is DW3, and they are featured at Spaghettini's all the time. So we're going to have a great time of entertainment on that night. Following that, as Annie alluded to earlier, is Juneteenth, which is our premier celebration annually, and it's going to be held at Clubhouse 5 on June the 21st. We will have a band and food and entertainment, and we have a few surprises for you this time that we haven't had before. Also, on September the 13th of this year, we're going to have a tribute to Trouble Man. This will be a tribute to Marvin Gaye. Our feature entertainer will be Lawrence Young, a very renowned singer, and his band, and they will be coming on board to entertain us that night at 7 p.m. Going back, the tickets for the two-band celebration on April the 13th are already on sale at PAC. So we're looking forward to, coming out of the box and doing more things than just having our regular meetings at Clubhouse 5. And we're also looking to be more diversified, as those of you already know, to bring in other clubs, other cultures to share with us in our culture, and we want to see what their culture is about. We want to see what all of your cultures are about, and it's not just going to be limited to, Black culture or African American culture only, even though that will be featured because that's part of the original vision. Annie, are you excited about the events that are coming up? How do you feel about them?
I am really, really excited, and thank you for asking me that. And one of the reasons I'm excited is it's an opportunity for the African American Heritage Club to expand, not just expand in numbers of members, but expand in the variety of programs that we're able to provide. Since I've been president, when I joined the club in 2014, I believe we had 25 members. And we stayed at 25 members for a long period of time. And just in the past couple of years, because I think we became more visible, we have increased our membership to almost 100. Our membership right now is close to 100 members. And having 100 members, and even though our dues are $25 a year for yearly membership, we are able to have enough money to provide different entertainment activities. So I'm really excited to see how great we can actually be with the new platform, with the new programs that we're providing, and the excitement that we can bring to the community. And you mentioned about involving other cultures, bringing other cultures into our community. I think this is a wonderful opportunity where we can share our experience, share our culture, and invite other cultures to come with us, and we can all celebrate together. So I'm really excited.
As well, I am excited also. And we're going to be bringing in different people from the village and from across the country to be interviewed on this program that we're going to be producing. And I'm taking this opportunity to thank Sue Daring and Alan Feldman and the Democratic Club for allowing us to assume production of this long-running program. And we want to be a little more interactive than we've been in the past. We only represent about 0.7% of the population here in Laguna Woods, and I, for one, love being a resident here. And all of the people that I talk to love being here, not just the black or Afro-Americans or whatever, those of color, of our color choose to be called. We enjoy being here. We enjoy this program. And, Annie's going to be the mayor next year, and they're trying to persuade me to move in the position that she's in with the African American Heritage Club. More on that to come up later. Annie, what's going on with Sydney? Is he going to be more involved coming up? I know Sharon may be coming back as an officer next year. I hope so anyway.
That's a good question, and that's a question that I will have to ask Sydney, or perhaps you can ask Sydney. One of the wonderful things about Sydney is, one of the many wonderful things, he's retired, and he is really enjoying his retirement. And so whatever, even though he supports the club, he picks and chooses what things he wants to donate his time to. So I'm sure we'll see him more. As to his involvement, we'll see.
Okay, so on our next presentation, Annie and I have talked somewhat about bringing on board the band leaders and the singers for the upcoming events that we have. So I'm sure that Lawrence Williams will be with us on the next event, and we're also going to be soliciting you, the public, if you have some ideas about who we might interview or who you would like to hear, or things you would like to discuss. For the Juneteenth celebration this year, our theme is World War II, We Were There Also, speaking of the blacks. And there are some interesting things that I didn't even know, and I thought I was well educated with black history, one of which being that the Black Panthers weren't founded originally. That name didn't really come from Rap Brown and Stokely Carmichael. George Patton, when he was going across Europe with his tank brigade, he had, I think it was the 421st Battalion of troops of tanks, was a black tank group. And he put them out front and sent them across, and he called them the Black Panthers. That's where that name originally came from. And so things like that, we're going to be discussing things like that when we have our We Were There Too in World War II. And like Annie mentioned, what do you call it, the 8?
The 688.
Yeah, 6888, about the black battalion of women that went over and got all of the armed forces, they're male. So all of these things like this we're going to be discussing and illuminating and opening up to the public, and we're happy to do so.
And that's a really good point. A lot of the stuff that you are discovering, as you mentioned, and some of the stuff that I am discovering, has been left out of the history books. Mm-hmm. And so most of America don't know about a lot of the programs that we bring through Juneteenth and through Black in Laguna Woods. A lot of folks just are not aware of those kinds of historical events. And so part of my excitement is to bring more awareness to these type of events. Black History Month is another really good opportunity to do that, and we've got some ideas about our next program for the African American Heritage Club celebrating Black history.
We just want to remind you that we're going to, as much as possible, stay away from religion and stay away from politics. But I think everyone is aware that there are a lot of changes that are being voiced abroad now, and so we need to stick together more than ever before so that we can move forward and continue to be the great nation that we already are. And we're looking forward to getting closer. We're looking forward to seeing what the changes are going to be and how they're going to affect not only us but everyone. So we're being hopeful and we're being positive about our future, and we're so happy that things are moving forward in spite of everything that's going on around us. So we're very happy about that. Aren't we, Annie?
Of course we are. And we're also we're open to the possibilities. I feel like this program is a wonderful opportunity for us, an extension of our monthly meetings, an extension of whatever we do is another opportunity to incorporate family into our own heritage and to invite other families and other cultures into our celebration. This is, as far as I'm concerned, Laguna Woods is my last stop. And so my last stop, I want it to be as gracious, as enjoyable, as life-giving as it can possibly be, and I want to bring along other people, or at least leave a trail behind me when I get to that final stop, final resting place.
Yeah, taking a segue off of what you just said, when we moved here, Sharon and I were so happy to get here to Laguna Woods. We didn't really know what to do. And as soon as we got here, she said, "This is where I want to die." And I immediately said, "This is where I want to live." And so, like you, we enjoy being here. Another thing that I want to bring to our attention is that we have an opportunity to influence a lot of people. We're in a bubble, as it were. We call it paradise, being here in Laguna Woods. And we want to put Laguna Woods on display, not only to the residents, but outside of the four walls, as it were. So we're hoping that these programs will be picked up on YouTube and spread. And we're going to try, one of our goals is to try to invite and get more participation and more residents from our colored community to come here in Laguna Woods. 7% of the 18,000 or so that are here is very minuscule, and we're trying to increase that number, and we're just soliciting all of your participation in doing that. And we don't just want to talk about our culture. We want to talk about the culture of all human beings. And we're just in a position where we can talk about it from the ship that has already been launched by the Democratic Club called Black in Laguna Woods. But we are all human beings here in Laguna Woods. We're all of one family here in Laguna Woods. And for the most part, we are very happy here. We're very congenial, and everyone that I speak to most of the time are full of joy. And we want to help perpetuate that mindset to everyone through broadcasts such as this. And I thank you for allowing me to be here. You can tell I'm not a great TV personality. I just like to keep it real. So I'm just trying to be conservative right here in this presentation and let you know that we're going to be doing better in the future. This is our first lap around the track, so just bear with us and we'll get better, and we'll get other people to participate that are a lot more articulate than I am. Back to Annie.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'll just segue on something else that you said. One of the things when this program first began with Black in Laguna Woods, the main focus was on the experience of Blacks that lived in Laguna Woods. And most of those experiences that we heard moving in were not positive experiences. Being profiled, being just disrespected in some way. And it was good to get those things highlighted. It was good to get them out for the world to see. And I think now we can move forward because we've exposed what it is that contributes a lot to the tension. And so now that that's been exposed, where more people are aware, I do believe that people, everybody is a good-hearted person. And I don't think that people are mean-spirited. I think there are habits and conditions that might contribute to a behavior. But I thank the Democratic Club and Black in Laguna Woods for highlighting those stories. And I also am very pleased that we can know about these stories, keep them in the forefront of our mind, but also realize and recognize all the other great American stories about living in Laguna Woods, all the opportunities to highlight. You know, really, Black in Laguna Woods is not just about the sad stories or the negative stories. It is about moving forward. And so I'm really excited about the opportunity for moving forward. And I'm just inviting the public to join us, whether we call it Black in Laguna Woods or whether it unfolds into something else. I see a wonderful opportunity here, and I'm inviting the Laguna Woods Village community to join us.
Well, the good thing about it, there being two of us here, we have two different opinions. I don't agree with everything that Annie just said. I believe that there is some bad in the best of us and that there is some good in the worst of us. And on this program, what we're going to do is accentuate the positive and make us aware of the negative. We're going to keep our focus on the positive. And as you can see, Annie and I don't agree on everything, but we are never disagreeable. There's a lot of bad in me, and there's some good in me. And that's true of all of you that are watching. And we want to put our best foot forward. And I'm being repetitive here, but we are going to focus on making this a positive program, which it has already been, but we're going to make ourselves aware of the negativity. Like Annie said, there is some of it here in the village, and we're going to, mention those things and try to make those things better. I'm the vice president of the Community Bridge Builders as well, and Annie is on that board. So, one of the things that we do a lot is we don't ignore the problems, but we here at the African American Heritage Club are going to accentuate the positivity in everything that we can do, but we're also going to acknowledge what's wrong out there so that we can try to fix it. I'll be a part of the catalyst to help fix it.
So we invite you to join us on this journey, and we look forward to next month when we have another program for you. Thank you for watching.
Bye.